All right, welcome in everybody. We are going to be doing our divisional assignments today for the Blood Bowl 2 Champions League. Before we do that, however, we're going to go over the rules and the format of the league, and then we'll get into actually doing the random divisional assignments. So, this will be the third edition of the Champions League. The second edition that I am running it solo. The league runs every 4 months, so 3 seasons each year. The seasons start on January 1st, May 1st, and September 1st. And it takes about 6 weeks to get through the 5 to 6 weeks to get through the regular season, and then a few weeks to get through the knockout stage. They are run on 3-minute turns, and it is a res format. Custom team creation. Each team falls into a tier, and they will have a certain amount of money that they can spend for skills on their tier, and they can also save some of that money to use for inducements if they choose. No stadium enhancements are allowed in this format, in this tournament. Each team will get 1,100K in gold to buy their starting roster. That has to be at least 11 players. They can also buy an APO, rerolls, cheerleaders, fan factor, and assistance as normal. And then they can spend money if they choose to have inducements. That money does come off of that 1,100K total team value. They can buy up to 2 Blood Bowl babes. They can buy up to 3 bribes. They can buy 1 master chef, or they can buy up to 2 star players. No wizards allowed. So the way that will work is, for instance, let's say if they wanted to buy a bribe, then a team would build their team to 1,000K, and then leave 100K for purchasing that bribe, or 50K if they're goblins, and then they would get that extra money added to their total team treasury to start the first match. And since it's a res tournament, each game their team would reset to that same spot, so that they would end up with that 100K each time. Let me actually make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see this. There we go. And so that's how the inducements work. Additional cash is provided to buy skills. You cannot buy stat boosts, and you can improve your team construction that way. You can buy doubled skills, but it does cost that extra 10K. As is noted here, a simple skill equals 20, a double equals 30. There's no limit on doubles. Stacking is also allowed with a max of 2 skills stacked per player. Tier 1 consists of Wood Elves and Undead, and they get an additional 80K to spend on skills, however they wish. Tier 2 consists of Orcs, Dwarves, Skaven, Lizards, Chaos Dwarves, Amazons, and Dark Elves. They all get 100K to build skills. Tier 3 consists of humans, necromantic, elves, Bretonnian, and Norse. They get 130K to spend on skills. Tier 4 is Kimrian High Elves, and they get 150K. Tier 5 is Chaos and Nurgle, and they get 180K. Tier 6 is Vampires, Underworld, and Kislev, and they get 1,000K extra to build and buy skills. And they are allowed to stack up to 3 skills per player instead of the normal 2 skill stack. And then Tier 7 are your Stunties, the Goblins, the Halflings, the Ogres. They all 3 get 300K in extra cash to build skills, and they can stack up to 3 as well on each individual player. The way this league will work is, or is set up to work is, we have invited leagues across the world to participate and send up to 2 coaches to represent their league. Those 2 players or coaches are expected to be either previous champions of the league or runners up within the league. It doesn't have to be the last champion. It can be any champion within the league throughout its history. It can be a champion of any flash tournaments or side tournaments that you have run, World Cup qualifying tournaments, things of that nature. Any kind of a format that your league has run where somebody has won that format or been a runner-up in that format, qualifies you. If a coach does not meet one of those requirements, it is possible that an admin can nominate a coach that is just a high tier level coach, top level coach that the admin feels would be a good representative of the league. It is possible to get a coach in that way as well, but we do prefer the coach to have at least won or made the finals of their league or tournament at some point in time. The two players that come from that league cannot use the same race. And the team that you pick to play will stay, and the build that you use will stay the same between the group stage and the playoffs. There will be a group stage first, and then the top certain amount of teams out of each group or division will qualify for a 16-man playoff, and then the winner of the 16-man playoff will be the winner of that season's edition. General conditions. This is just basically talking about how leagues can join. Player participation. This I just talked about a little bit. It's expected that you were a champion of your league. Also, the two coaches that finished in the finals or made the finals of the previous Champions League season will be the representatives of the Championship League. So they'll get to come back and basically defend their good run. This season, Season 3, the two coaches that finished in the finals last season were Ever with his Norse and Caltroop with his Kimry. And Ever won that match to win the championship. Both of those coaches are back this season and are representing the Champions League. This just tells you how to sign up, basically, multi-league players. A player can only represent, or a coach can only represent one league at a time. So, for instance, I could not represent the Champions League and Goblin, or Goblin and OCC, or whatever. I can only pick one of those to represent. League scheduling. Excuse me. We have added an addendum to the rule here at the start of last season, and I want to make note of that now. Every player in the we use Discord exclusively to do the scheduling. So every player or coach that is in this season will need to be on Discord. They'll have a division or a group Discord channel for their group that they will be in. You would do all your scheduling within that group channel. When you're scheduling, this is the new rule or addendum that was chosen, because this is a worldwide league and we do have coaches from all over the world. We're asking that all coaches, when they are scheduling, that they post all times available in the UTC time zone. It's a very central time zone that everybody should be able to do the time conversions to their own individual time zone from. And then that way, when admins are making admin decisions, it's easy to see how the scheduling thread went and how the back and forth went between the coaches. If one coach is talking in their time zone, which might be UTC -5, and another coach is talking in his time zone, which might be UTC +2, there can be a lot of confusion there between those coaches. So it's easier to just do everything in the UTC time zone format, let each coach make the conversion on his own, and then that way if there is a confusion or misunderstanding between the time zone, then it's on that specific coach for not understanding his own conversion, and then he would be the one, he or she would be the coach to blame for that issue. So that's the new rule. Everything is done in UTT time zone. Once a game is scheduled, the players should post in the calendar Discord channel that their match is scheduled. On that scheduled day and time, both coaches should post in the ready to play channel that they are online and ready. What this does is it gives a clear indication that Coach A showed up and on time and he's in game ready to play, and then that way if Coach B never shows up, there's a timestamp there. Coach A is expected to wait at least 15 minutes. If the opposing coach has not showed up at that point in time, that coach can choose to remain and continue waiting, or he can move on and do other things. He's made his obligation. And this gives the admin timestamps and no knowledge and no ability that Coach A was there. He was there on time like he was supposed to be. And then the admin results can be applied appropriately if needed. If neither coach posts in the ready to play channel, even if one coach was there online ready to go, then it won't matter. If he didn't post in the ready to play channel like he was supposed to, then the admin result would be adjudicated based off of what the admin sees in that ready-to-play channel. So in this case, it would go as a draw since no coach showed up and posted in that channel appropriately. So it's very important that coaches understand when you're showing up to play your scheduled match, make sure you post in that ready-to-play channel when you're online and ready to go. That way it is documented. Match days run for 7 days. They start and end on Monday night at 2200 UTC minus 6, which is my time zone. Actually, that is going to be changed because it's UTC minus 5 currently. So it'll be 2200 UTC minus 5, which would be Tuesday morning at 0300 UTC. Any matches that are not currently being played at that exact point in time when I get on to admin or to flip the league and admin the matches, they will be adminned. If they're currently being played, I will let them finish out and play before I move on. So keep that in mind. That's the date. There will be no extensions at all, regardless of what the circumstances are. This is a very time-appropriate league. It needs to be on time for everything to run smoothly and work between seasons. So there will be no extensions. Monday night at 2200, if you are not currently playing your game, your match will be adminned, even if you're scheduled to start an hour later. It won't matter. You will be adminned. Missed and unplayed matches and how they would be adminned. This is a very important section, so I will go over each one of these. If no information was regarding scheduling from either coach was posted in that group channel, then it will be a 0-0 draw. If both coaches offer acceptable scheduling windows, which is a minimum of 2 opportunities in that group channel, but the match could not get played, then a 1-1 draw will be issued. If one coach fails to post availability within a timely manner, within 2 days of the match day being advanced, so in this case by Wednesday night, end of day, in that group channel, then the opponent will receive a 2-0 win. If a match is scheduled and agreed upon by both coaches, and one coach fails to show or post in the ready-to-play channel, then both coaches should do their best to try and reschedule the match in good faith, assuming that there is still time remaining in the match week timeline. If the match cannot get rescheduled, then the result will be a 2-0 win for the coach who did show up for the scheduled match time and posted in that ready-to-play channel. Failing to schedule your matches will result in a warning. Repeated failure will result in a potential ban. Repeated failure to show up for your match will result in a potential ban and potentially future season bans. So, very important to make sure you understand this section, because that's how games will be adminned if needed. And final words, there is no forfeiting allowed, no disrespectful behavior allowed as well, whether it's in chat or in the chat in the Discord or in the chat in-game. This will result in a simple rule that one forfeit is tolerated for a player during the whole competition. If there is a second, he will be out of the next edition automatically. Depending on the case, there could be a definitive ban or a prolonged ban. We will allow one forfeit. We do understand real life happens. Things can happen in that nature. No concedes are allowed in this format. You're expected to play your match all the way out. If you don't like the way it's going and you're tired of playing, it's perfectly okay to hit intern. I would suggest that you don't. At least try. It's a res format. Your players won't die. They won't be injured. They will come back the next game. There's absolutely no reason not to try. So we expect you to at least try to make an effort throughout the game. But if it's turn 13, 14, 15, you're already losing 2-0 and your opponent has the ball and you're just ready to get the game over, perfectly acceptable to hit in turn, get the game over with, move on. Not going to be punished for that. However, if you concede, that will go against your forfeit count of 1, and if you do it twice, you will be banned. We do allow the 1 forfeit just in case an emergency happens where you have to forfeit and you have to move out. It is expected that you try to replay the game if you can. If you can't, then you will take the forfeit loss, and if that happens twice in a season, then you would be booted for the rest of the season and potentially for future seasons. Everything is based on trust and done for the players to celebrate the daily work of the leagues and the community, and offer the possibility for champions to meet each other in a friendly way. All players involved in the Champions League should be warned about that aspect of the project. Thank you for reading and taking part in this. Basically, most of the coaches that are in this league here are top tier level coaches that have been playing for a while, that have won their leagues. They're expected to be, decent towards their opponents and be sportsmanlike. Just don't be a dick. Don't be an asshat. That's pretty much it. And most of the coaches in here are going to be that way. They're going to understand the way it works, and it tends to run pretty smoothly. So hopefully that continues. All right. Now that that's done, we'll go over just some real quick things here. There is a link on the Discord in the welcome channel that has that version of the rules that we just looked at, the English version of the rules. There's also links for different language versions. There's a French version, as you can see here. There's a Spanish version, and there's a German version. So you're free to read it in whichever version is your native tongue or language that you prefer to read it in. Also, in that Discord channel at the bottom, there is a link that takes you to the spreadsheets. The spreadsheets for this tournament are as follows. The first tab is just a welcome tab that shows all the different leagues. Should have a link to their Discord or forum, whatever they provided. Shows which the flag shows which area of the world they're in, and then the contact is the league admin that you would contact. And then at the bottom it shows the Hall of Fame of who's won each edition, what the final score was in that final match, and who they beat. The next three tabs are the current edition that we will be playing. And then after that, you'll have three tabs for each season or edition. And it will have an underscore archived at the end. So it's to show you that they're archived and that they're for each season. So you'll have three for the first edition. And then you'll have three for the second edition, which was last season. So those three tabs per season. One is a calendar tab, which once we do this group draw and we get everything started in game and we know the schedule, I will fill this whole grid out or table out for each week. This will be the first week matchups, this grid here, and then the second week matchups. The third week matchups will be here, and it also tells you the dates that those weeks are projected to play. And then you have your fourth week and your fifth week. Divisions will consist of 6 teams, and you'll play each of the other 5 teams once, so you'll get a 5-game regular season, and then a playoff format after that. So this will be the 5 weeks tables for the schedules. It will show the league that they're representing, the group that they're in, the league they're representing, the nationality, the coach, their roster, and then the opposing coach. Same thing, it just reversed from what you've seen there. You have the roster, the coach, the league, nationality, and then the score will go here. So that's how the scheduling tab works. Or the calendar tab, sorry. The ranking tab. You'll notice here the full dates of this session, which is May 6th to July 7th. Then the next line down tells you the champions from each season. Next line down tells you the rules for the group stage. A win gets you 3 points, a draw gets you 1 point. Tiebreakers are, and this is to determine the teams that will make the playoffs and the seeding of those playoffs. Those touchdowns are touchdown difference, or those tiebreakers are, sorry, touchdown difference, then touchdowns for, then head to head, and then a random die roll if it gets that far. The playoff bracket will be here, and you see the dates for the first round. This is quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. And then here underneath that playoff bracket are the groups. We'll have 6 teams in here. And then have their coach name, their team name, their roster, their league, their nationality. Then you'll have a nice little grid here that shows their total games played, how many points they have, what their record is, win, draw, and loss. And then you'll have touchdowns for, touchdowns against, and you'll have your touchdown difference. We have 42 coaches participating this season. So that will be a total of 7 groups. to get to 16 teams in the playoffs, we will have the top 2 teams from each division, which will give us a total of 14 teams. And then we'll have 2 wild cards. That will be the top 2 third-place teams from those 7 divisions. So that's why you see the coloring scheme you see here. You see teams places 1 and 2 in each group will make the playoffs. And then all of the third-place teams will be listed down here. The best third-place teams. Actually, I need to change this wording just a little bit. Third-place teams, and it's 2. So we'll have all 7 third-place teams listed here with all of their applicable numbers and data. And then the top 2 of those will be the 2 wildcard teams. And then this bottom table is just the overall ranking of all the teams together. So we'll have 42, so it'll cut off right here. But we'll have that total ranking, just so you can see where you rank amongst all 42 players. So that's how the second tab works, the ranking tab. And then the third tab here is just basically the player info. More for admin purposes here, but it's available to everybody to see. You have your league that you're being represented from, the icon, then you have the league name, you have your nationality, you have your coach name, the roster you've chosen to play, your team name, and how you got invited for the current season. This is just admin stuff for me, so you can ignore that. And that is pretty much it. So we're going to get ready to start doing the roll-off. And what we're going to do here is come back into here. So I've got all the teams listed here. And I've got the groups listed here. And that's where we're going to fill our teams in once we do our random draw out here. Before we do that, real quick, we're waiting on 2 teams to figure out their team. One of the guys I haven't heard back from yet, so hopefully we'll hear back from him in the next day or 2, and that's this guy here. If he doesn't reply within the next day or so, then I will replace him with a different coach. The other guy is McLean. And my headphones went dead, so if McLean was saying anything, I did not hear it. McLean, have you decided what race you're going to play?
Oh, orcs.
You are going to go with orcs? All right. So we'll go ahead and get this in here real quick. Do you know the team name yet or no?
No.
Okay, so we'll fill that in later once he has given us that information. What we needed to know right now, though, was what he was going to play, and he's going to play orcs. So we can go ahead and do this. And we can go ahead and do this. There's an orc roster. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do the random draw, even though we don't know what this last guy is. It's not really going to make much of a difference at this point anyway. So we'll go ahead and get that done. The way we are going to do this is I'm going to use the Discord to do die rolls. And we're going to do 2 die rolls. First die roll we're going to do is to determine which league is getting drawn first. So we'll do a 1 die whatever, however many leagues we have represented here. And then the second die roll, so let's say the first die roll is a 1 and it's Mad Academy. The second die roll we're going to do, or second and third die roll, is we're going to figure out which group that the first coach, Dalibor, would go into, and then which group that the second coach, Few Follett, would go into. The coaches will not go into the same division, so you will not play the coach from your representative league at all in the tournament or in the playoff format. Then you could at that point, because it's strictly based on seeding. So what we'll do, since we have 7 divisions, we'll roll a 1 die 7 for the first guy, and then we'll do a 1 die 6 for the second guy, and we'll eliminate the division that the first guy went into. Yes, it is, Baron. And I have messaged him directly on Discord, but I have not heard anything back from him. I messaged him on Thursday or Friday, and then I messaged him earlier today. Still have not heard back from him. So That is who we're waiting on right now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, before we start the roll, we're going to go over each league and what coach is representing it and what race that they are going to play. So representing the Mad Academy, we have Dalibor playing humans, and we have Hugh Follett playing Chaos Dwarves. Representing the Belgian Bull, that sounds perfect, Baron. Thank you. If you guys need to get a replacement, just let me know as quick as you can. I'd rather have a replacement from your league than to try to find somebody from a different league to fill in. All right, so back to this. Representing the Belgian Bowl, we have Ant-Man playing humans, and we have Point Blank playing Norse. Representing the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, we have Beer Monkey playing Kislev, and we have Gray playing Goblins. Representing the Xena Extreme League, we have Moreo playing Chaos Dwarves, and Conti Pitch playing Bretonian. Representing Piel de Minotauro, we have Andre playing Underworld, and we have Grant Granoda playing Kislev. Representing Joel, the Jeu Online, I believe is how you pronounce that. We have the coach that we've been talking about, Smajane. We don't know what he's playing yet. And we have Maxo, also known as Gooey Gooey, playing Underworld. Representing the Deutsche Blood Bowl League, we have Thor playing Norse, and we have Largo Feldloff playing Underworld. Representing the Quebec Blood Bowl League, we have Mr. Light playing Lizards. We have Hio playing Orcs. Representing Tyrandododos, we have Ex Grino playing Nurgle, and Frida playing Necro. Representing the Franco Bowl, we have Ungern playing Halflings, and we have Silsei playing Undead, or Silsai, not sure exactly how you pronounce that. Representing Goblin, we have McLean playing Orcs, and myself playing Kimry. Representing Rock Paper Shotgun, we have Corn Knight playing Underworld, and Herring Zord playing Kimry. Representing the Polish Blood Bowl League, we have Miziosaurus playing Underworld, and Vincent P.L. playing Pro Elves. Representing the last season of the CCL, which is Cyanide's championships champion ladder, champs ladder, we have Elyad playing Underworld, Rick Reckless playing Vampires, Aldrea playing Necro, and Sven Rudabega playing Dwarves. Representing the CCL for the PS4 platform, we have Sergal playing Orcs. Representing the Ligue Francais, we have Tyra playing Humans, and Le Marseille playing Wood Elves. Representing Ave Phoenix Blood Bowl, we have Eben Drow playing Underworld, and Yulin El Vazco playing Orc. And then representing the Able League, which is, I want to say the Argentinian Blood Bowl League, I think is what it is, but I'm not positive on that. We have Demon Nyoman playing Chaos, and we have Louis Yano playing Dwarf. Representing the Althea Blood Bowl League, we have Badstorm playing Wood Elves, and Diam Lord playing Norse. Representing Kennard PC, we have Pit Martinez playing Skaven. And then our two returning representatives for the Champions League itself. As I mentioned earlier, we have the reigning champs ever bringing Norse, and we have the reigning runner-up Caltroop playing Chaos. Ever won the league last season with Norse, so he's bringing his Norse back. And Caltroop made the finals with Kimry, so he's decided to switch and play Chaos this time. Give me 1 second here, guys. Just need to respond to my son there real quick. Sorry, guys. All right, so that is the league this season and who's representing each individual private league, which is great. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 leagues, it looks like. Let me recount that one more time just to make sure I didn't miss it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. All right, so the first row will be a 1 die 21. Let's pull Discord over here so everybody can see it. This will determine which leagues representatives get to be randomly placed first. So a die 21. And we get 21. So the champion, that's pretty fitting, I guess. The two representatives of the Champions League will be the first two guys to roll and see where they go. The first one will be a die 7 for Ever. I believe Ever was the first guy. Yep. So S, roll die 7. And it's, wow, that's pretty unrandom right now, isn't it? It's the very last pip on the die each time. All right, so Ever is, let's make sure we got league, nationality, coach, and roster. Okay, so he is going to go into the last division. Should be just like that. So he'll be the first coach in Group G. And then we'll do a die 6 roll to see where Caltrip goes. He goes into the first division. So he will go into Group A. All right. Now we'll have a die 20 since that league is done. So S, roll die 20. This will be League 10. Also need to do this real quick so we know that he's done. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Frankobo. We have Ungurns, Halflings, and Silsize Undead. We'll roll Ungurn first, and he'll do a die 7. He is going into Division 7, so the Halflings will go into the same division as Ever. And then we'll do a die 6 for the next one. And it's a 5. So Silsei and his Undead will go into Division 5. Which will be Group E. And I got those backwards, don't I? Did I get them backwards here? No, they're right there. Okay. We need to actually switch this up real quick, guys, because I have these backwards. That should be nationality, and that should be league. And then this should be nationality, and that should be league. That way it's all showing the right things, the right details in the columns. There we go. All right. next is to determine the next league to be used. We're going to do a die 19 roll. Oh, I guess it'd help if I did a D in there, wouldn't it? League 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Piel de Minotauro. And that is Andre and his Underworld first, and then Granota and his Kislev second. So S roll D7. Then we have Division 4. So Andre will go into Division 4, which is Group D. And then Granota will be a D6. He will go into Division 5. So Division 5 will be a little different here because we got 1, 2, 3. That won't count because it's eliminated. 4, 5. So he goes into Group F. Alright, and then the next league to be randomly placed will be a D18, right? Yes, D18. And it's Group 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's the Polish Blood Bowl League. With Miziosaurus and his Underworld first, and then Vincent PL and his Pro Elves next. D7 for Mizio. He goes into Division 6. So he will go into Group F and join Granota. And then we'll have a D6 for the other guy. He will go into Division 5. And that will be Vincent PL. He'll go into Group E. He'll be the second one there with Silsai. Alright. D17 for the next league to be rolled. And it's League 16. So it will be the league second from the bottom, which will be Althea. We have Bad Storm's Wood Elves going first, and then Diam Lord's Norse going second. So let's get that. And we will do a S roll D7. He will go into, Bad Storm will go into Division 1. Join Caltroop. And then Diam Lord with his Norse will go into Division 3. So that will be Division or Group D. He'll join Andre. All right. Next group. What did we do last time? Did we do 17? I think we did 17. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, we did 17. So we need to do a die roll of a 16 here. Die 16. So it is a 5. So League 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's JOL. And it'd be Small Genet, who we don't know yet, and Gooey Gooey's Underworld. Small Genet first. Die 7. He goes into Group C. He'll be the first representative there. And then we do a die 6 for the other guy. He goes into Group 2. So both of them fill the remaining 2 groups that did not have a coach in it yet. Alright, and then the next league is a die 15. It's going to be League 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to be the CCL, and we got 4 guys to place here. We have Elyod's Underworld, Rick Reckless and his Vamps, Aldrea and his Necro, and Sven Rutabaga with his Dwarves. So we'll do Elyod first. This will be a D7, and it is a 3. So he will go into Group C and join Small Genet. And then we'll do a die 6 for the next one. And this one will go into Group 5. This is Rick Reckless with his Vamps. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he'll go into Group F. The next guy will be a roll of D5. And he will go into 3. That is Aldrea. C is already taken, so D would be number 3. And then the last guy will go with a roll of die 4. He will go into 3. So the Dwarves of Sven Rutabaga will go into Group E. No, he won't, because Group E is the Vampire. Yeah, no, that's right. Yep, that's good. Rick Reckless was the other PC guy. All right. Next league is, I think that was a 15. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. So we're doing a die 14 this time. And it's 13. So second from the bottom would be Abel, the Argentinian League. Demon or Demonioman. Demonioman. Anyway, he'll be first with his Chaos. And Luis Jano will be second with his Dwarves. So we'll do a die 7 first. And it's Group 6 for the Demon. For short. So he will go into Group F. Only 2 more slots remaining in Group F, as it's slowly filling up. And then the Dwarves of Luis Jano will go to Division 5. Which will be Group E. He also, or that group also only has 2 spots left to fill. All right. 13 divisions left, guys. We're getting there. So we'll do a D13 to see the next division off, and it is Division 2, which is the Belgian Bowl. with Ant-Man's Humans and Point Blank's Norse. Do Ant-Man's Humans first. D7. And we'll go ahead and do the roll real quick. Speed this up a little bit. The die 6 roll for the next guy, Point Blank, as well. So we had a 6 and a 1. So Ant-Man goes into 6, which would be F. Only one spot left in F. And then Point Blank goes into 1, which is A. And the next league will be a D12. It is going to be League 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Quebec Blood Bowl League. Excuse me. Mr. Light with his lizards and Heel with his orcs. We'll do both rolls here real quick. A D7 first. Goes into 5. And then a D6 after that will go into 5. So 5 and 5. So Mr. Light goes into Group E. And then Heel will be the last team in Group F. So Group F is filled. All right. Next division off should be a D11. And it's 2, which is the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That'll be Beer Monkey with his Kislev and Gray with his Goblins. So we'll do Beer Monkey first here. We only have a die 6 now, and then a die 5. Die 6 for the first one, and a die 5 for the second one. We have a 6 and a 5, so the last two divisions. So Beer Monkey will go into Group G, and Gray will go into Group E. So E is now complete as well. E and F are the first two groups done. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 division or leagues left. The next one off is a 5. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be Goblin. So me and McLean will get to see where we're going. McLean will be first with his orcs. I will be second with my Kimry. So we will do a die 4 and a die 3 now. McLean will go into Group B. And I will go into Group G. 2 and 3. So McLean goes to B. And then I go into 1, 2. Wait a minute, I did those two wrong. We've got 5 left. We need to re-roll. We'll have to re-roll those. I didn't roll those right. Shouldn't be 4. It should be a 5 and a 4, not a 4 and a 3. So let's actually re-roll those. Should be a die 5 for McLean and a die 4 for me. And it will be 2 and 2. All right, so McLean will still go into Group B. So we finished up where he was supposed to go. And then me, I will go into Group C now, because that's the second group, since B is eliminated. Alright, and then 9 more divisions left.
Hey, bud, I just came to say sorry I disappeared, but I was helping my wife and
6.
then we had dinner, so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the CCL PS4, which only has one representative, and that is Sergal. So we will do a D5 to see where he goes. And he goes into Group 5, which is the last one, so he'll go to Group G. Be the 4th coach there. Alright, and then we got a D8. So the next league off is League 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. RPS. Rock, Paper, Shotgun. Has Corn Knight with his Underworld and Herring Zord with the Kimry. He does, Corn Knight. I just don't have the flag. I gotta get the flag. He's from Ireland. I don't have the Ireland flag set up in my Imgur account. I have to get it and get it set up. And I will. I just haven't taken the time to do it. I also need to get um, an image for the Champions League here as well. I don't have that set up yet. So I will get that worked up at some point this week. Alright, so that was Rock, Paper, Shotgun, right? Yep. So we got Corn Knight's Underworld and then Herring Zord's Kimry. And we still have 5 groups open. So we'll do a D5 first for Corn Knight. You're here just in time, Corn, to see where you're going. So a D5 to see where Corn goes, and then a D4 to see where Herring Zord goes. So Corn's going to 1, and then Herring Zord's going to 1. So Corn Knight goes to Group A. And then Herring Zord will go to Group B, because that is the new number 1. Alright, now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 leagues left. Once we get all of this done, we'll do an extensive look of each group in the races there. So S, roll D7 to see the next league. It's going to be League 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's Tyrannododos. And that is Exgrino's Nurgle and Frida's Necro. We'll do Exgrino first. We still have 5 groups to be filled. So a 5 for Exgrino. And then a 4 for the next guy. So a 3 and a 4. So Exgrino goes to Group 3, which is Group C. And then Frida goes to Group 4, which should be the last group. So A is 1, B is 2, D is 3, and 4 is G. So we got 1 spot left in G. We got 3 left in D, 2 in C, 3 in B, and 2 in A. So we're getting close here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 leagues left. So we will roll a die 6 for the next division, or next league. And it's number 2, which would be Xena. So Xena is going to have Moreo with Chaos Doors going first, and then Conti with his Barrettes going second. Still have 5 groups to fill. So we will do a D5 and then a D4. And we get a 2 and a 1. So Moreo will go into 2, which is B. And Conti will go into 1, which is Group A. So 1 left in Group A. Now we have 5 leagues left to pick from. And we get League 2. Which would be the Deutsch Blood Bowl League. With Thor in his Norse. And then second would be Largo Feldloff with his Underworld. So we'll roll Thor's division first. Still have 5 groups open. D5, and then D4. So we have a 3 and a 2. Thor will go into Group C. And Largo will go into 2, which is Group B. So we've got some guys that are going to be filling up here pretty quickly now, probably on this next shot. I think we have 4 leagues left. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 4 leagues left. D4. And we got League 2, which is Ligue Française, or Ligue Française, with Tyra's Humans going first, and then Les Marseilles Wood Elves going second. Still have 5 groups, so the first roll will be a D5. Second roll will be a D4. So we have 1 and 4. Tyra will go into Group A, and that will block him off. He's done. And then Les Marseilles will go into Group 4, which should be the last group. And that will finish off Group G. So we have 3 groups left. 3 leagues left. D3 for the league. League 2, so that would be Ave Phoenix. Ebendral's Underworld will go first, and then Julian El Vasco and his Orcs will go second. We have a die 3 now for the league, or the groups, sorry. D3, and then we have a D2 roll for the last guy. And we have 1 and 1. Alright, so the first guy, Ebendral, will be the last team in Group B. And then Julian will be the last guy in Group C. And oh, hold on. That cannot happen, because we'll have 2 guys from Mad. So Yulin will have to go into this group here. Oops. He doesn't have a choice at this point. Otherwise, we'd have 2 Mad Academy coaches in Group D, and that cannot happen. So we got 2 left. We're going to do a die roll 2 to see which league gets placed first. Actually, no, the league doesn't matter, because we know that Kennard only has 1 representative, Pitt Martinez Skaven. He's got to go into Group D. He doesn't have a choice. All we need to do is we need to roll to see which Mad Academy goes into which guy. So we're going to roll for Dalibor. We're going to roll a die 2. If it's a 1, he goes into C. If it's a 2, he goes into D. Die 2. He goes into D. So Dalibor finishes out this group, and Few Follett finishes out Group C. Alright, so that should be everybody. So let's go ahead and do a quick look at these divisions. Being British a bit longer. We won't have, yep. That's what you were thinking, yep. That's one of the rules, is you can't have the 2 teams representing a league go into the same division. Once you get to the playoffs, though, anything can happen. It's based off of strictly based off of seeding then at that point. So you could play your mate then if you both qualified for the playoffs. All right, so for Group A, we have Caltroop, Bad Storm, Point Blank, Corn Knight, Contapitch, and Tyra. And we have a Chaos team, a Wood Elf team, a Norse team, an Underworld team, the Bretonians, and humans. So pretty bash-free league here. The humans and the Norse could potentially be bashers. Underworlds could have some claw. It could do a little bit of damage. And the Brets are just kind of all-around average. Oh, no, sorry, I take that back. Chaos are in there. So Chaos could do a little bit of damage, potentially. But that's a pretty well-rounded division there, I think. Chaos, Wood Elves, Norse, Underworld, Bretts, and Humans. Not a bad division there. Should be interesting to see how that plays out. Group B, we have Gooey Gooey, McLean, Herringzord, Moreo, Largo Feldloff, and Ebendraw. Races are Underworld, Orc, Kemri, Chaos Dwarf, Underworld, and Underworld. Wow, 3 of the 6 teams are Underworld. Not very racially diverse there. And then outside of the Underworld, you got Chaos, Kemri, and Orcs. That's gonna be an interesting division. You could have a claw or a 2 on each one of these Underworld teams. You could potentially have a claw blocker on the Chaos Dwarf team. And then the Kemri and the Orcs are what they are. Heavier armor, heavier bash potential, and pitch controlling teams. So that should be a very interesting group with the 3 Underworld scattered in there. Group C, we got Small Genet, Elyad, Spider, Exgrino, Thor, and Few Follett. We don't know yet on Small Genet. His admin is trying to get in touch with him right now to have him hurry up and get his decision in. If he does not respond by tomorrow, then we will replace him with a different coach. The other 5 races, though, we have a Underworld team, a Kemri team, a Nurgle team, a Norse team, and a Chaos Dwarf team. So fairly armor heavy and bash potential heavy with the Kemri, the Nurgle, and the Chaos Dwarves. The Norse with the low armor, but the all block has the potential to do some bashing. And then the Underworld has a potential for a claw or 2. And then we don't know yet on Smogene, so we'll have to wait on him. Group D, we have Andre, Diamlord, Aldrea, Yulin El Vasco, Pit Martinez, and Dalibor. And we're looking at the racial breakdown being Underworld, Norse, Necro, Orc, Skaven, and Human. Pretty nice spread there. That's a really nice spread for that division. Skaven should make that interesting. Got the Necro that's all around good. Humans all around good. The Orcs are the heavy team. And the Norse with the all block, and then the Underworld with potential damage dealing with the claw pieces potentially. Group E, we have Silsai, Vincent, PL, Sven Rudabega, Luis Jano, Mr. Light, and Gray. The racial breakdown is an Undead roster, a Pro-Elf roster, 2 Dwarf rosters, a Lizardman, and a Chaos Dwarf. That is a really heavy hitting group besides the Pro-Elves. Could be a rough run for Vincent with his Pro-Elves. He could lose a lot of players each game, but will have the potential to take the win in each game too, because it is Elves, and it is the only high edge Elfie type team in that group. So yeah, that's going to be a really hard hitting group right there. It'd be interesting to see how that goes. You're right. It is Goblin. Yes, you're right. I was looking at it wrong. The Goblin and the Chaos Dwarf look somewhat similar with the skulls. But no, you are right. That is Goblin. Yeah, Gray is playing Goblin. Thank you for the catch there. That should be fun. Yeah, that should be interesting as well with the Goblins mixed in with the Dwarves. Dwarves have the potential to really do some damage on those Goblins with all the tackle. But we'll see how Gray plays those. And then the last 2 divisions, we got Group F. We have Grenoda, Miziosaurus, Rick Reckless, Demonioman, Ant-Man, and Heel. And for the racial breakdown, we have Orcs, Humans, Chaos, Vampires, Underworld, and Kislev. So this should be interesting. Orcs and the Chaos are the only potential heavier hitters. Humans, again, the all-around average ability to do whatever. The Vamps, depends on how he's built his team. Rick Reckless is a very good vampire coach, so we'll see how he built his team out and what he chooses to do. We have Underworld, and then we have the Kislev. Kislev can either be good or bad, depending on how their dice are going. And then the last group, we have Ever, Ungern, Beer Monkey, Sergal, Freda, and Le Marseille. For the races, we have Wood Elves, Necro, Orc, Kislev, Halflings, and Norse. So again, this should be an interesting, some really good, interesting racial mixes in most of these divisions. I think the hardest hitting division potential is either Group E or potentially Group C, depending on what Smazne goes with. Those two groups are going to be some pretty heavy hitters, I think, and potential lots of the potential for lots of damage. So those are our 7 groups, our 7 divisions. Should be an interesting run this season to see how things play out. So the process that's going to be followed from here on out, guys, I am going to finish verifying teams today. That is the plan. And then I will get the groups made in game. I will start sending out tickets to teams that do not have inducements. Teams that do have inducements, if your team is not set and ready with the money correctly, then I will get in touch with you through PM on Discord to set up a time one night this week or next weekend to get you your money for your inducements, and then we'll get your ticket. As soon as we're done with that, we'll get your ticket sent in game so you can immediately accept it. If your team is getting inducements and you've already got it set up to get your money correctly and everything looks right, then I'll go ahead and send you your invites now. If we have not heard from Smazne by tomorrow, then we will try to find a replacement. I will work with his league admin, who was on earlier and said he's going to, get try to light a fire under him to get his stuff in. But if we haven't heard from him tomorrow, we'll try to get him replaced by another member from JOL. If we can't find somebody from JOL by Tuesday, then we will find a second PS4 coach, CCL PS4 coach, to come in and take that spot. But we will have that spot filled hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, and we'll know what that last race is going to be. Once we have all 6 teams in a division accepted with their tickets and ready to go, we will get that that group started. We won't start any groups before Friday. The earliest we'll start anything will be Friday. If groups are set up and ready to go, though, by Friday we'll get the league started, or that group started. That way you can have 2 weekends for this first week. Officially, the league will start a week from tomorrow, May the 6th. Excuse me. And that'll be the official first week of play. Once I get a group started, I'll put the schedule up in both places. We'll put not there. We'll put the schedule up here for each week, and we will get the first week schedule up in the Discord on that group's channel. I will also put underneath that schedule posting, I will put the teams that are in that group that have inducements and what inducements they are taking, so that way your opponents will know, or the 2 coaches playing that match will know what inducements he should be getting. If you did not take inducements as part of your team build, you cannot spend money in the inducement phase no matter what. Even if your opponent is 50k less than you, or 50k more than you, and is giving you 50k, you cannot spend that money. You can only spend it if you specifically designated that you were getting inducements before the season started off, when you were building your team. So that is it for the live draw, guys. I want to thank everybody for getting on and watching. Let me get over here real quick and remove that guy. Actually, let's leave that guy on there. Let's just hide it. There we go. All right. Again, I want to thank everybody for getting on and watching. That's going to be it for the recording. I hope everybody has a great rest of your evening. Be on the lookout for tickets coming in game within the next day or 2, hopefully, if everything goes smoothly for me. and we will get this new season kicked off as soon as we can. So, congrats to everybody on the divisional assignments. Hopefully, you're in a division that you like your chances or your potential matchups. Good luck with the first 5 games of the regular season and trying to make the playoffs. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message within Discord or just post it on one of the channels within the Discord server. And we will see everybody on the next recording. Have a good one, everybody. Keep it real, keep it positive, stay happy, and we'll see you on the next one.